Odell down the right sideline. He's got Odell on the run across the 40. He's to the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Giants, 75 yards, and they have their first lead of the day. Caught by Odell. He's racing across midfield. He's to the 40, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Giants. Oh, baby, is he good.
Our relationship's growing. Me and Lynette are going to get married sometime soon. You know, just hopefully it all works out. I'm 23. I don't know much about marriage, but she seems like a pretty good gal.
Oh, Lord. On his best statistical day as a professional, OBJ was flagged for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for taking off his helmet while celebrating on the field after the game-winning 66-yard touchdown. Ryan Clark in the house. Good day, kind sir.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Happy belated birthday,
Good.
bro.
Thank you, brother.
Yes.
Same to you, my man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What, you 42 now?
49. And I wish
Man,
I was,
you look good,
and I wish
man.
I was 50. I wish I was. I'm approaching 50, bro. Let me tell y'all something right now.
What did I just say?
I have no problem getting closer to retirement. It don't bother me. It don't bother
You
me at
are
all.
not slowing
It don't
down.
bother
That
me.
is a lie. Don't
It
lie to
bother
the
me.
American people.
Swear to
You're
you,
just getting started.
I didn't say I would stop, but I like getting to that age. I don't mind getting older. I really don't.
Anytime someone has a problem getting older, just remind them it beats the
The
alternative.
no doubt.
There you go.
No question.
There you
No
go.
doubt.
Let's roll.
All right, Ryan, how do you feel about Odell Beckham Jr.?
I feel the same way I felt about him week 2, week 3, when everybody was coming down on him. Oh, Odell, you have to stop behaving this way because you're hurting the offense. Well, he wasn't throwing interceptions. And I've come on this show many times and talked about my issue with the New York Giants offense wasn't Odell's behavior. It was Eli throwing interceptions at inopportune times. Now, he still threw 2 yesterday, but he came up with the big plays late. Odell Beckham, the only issue I have with him yesterday is the 15-yard penalty for taking off his helmet, because that actually hurts your team. You score with 90 seconds left to go in the game. You don't want to give 15 more yards of field position to a team that's trying to drive and win the game. But other than that, I have no issues. You can propose, you can hug, you can lay down with the net, you can jump up and down, do whatever you want to do after you score that touchdown, because it does not matter as long as you make plays on the field. What we got to see from him yesterday is what I've said many times. When wide receivers wake up on Sunday morning, and you know, they say you go to work and you bring your lunch pail and your toolbox. His toolbox has more tools in it than everybody else that's walking to the stadium. And that's what we got to see, whether it's the double move to go deep down the sideline early in the 3rd quarter, the double move to get down the sideline early in the 4th, the slant catch, which we just trying, as New York Giants, we are just trying to move the ball. It's 4th down, we just want to move the ball. He's one of the few receivers in the league that when he's one-on-one with that free safety in the middle of the field, he knew he had no chance. I knew he had no chance. Everybody at MetLife Stadium knew he had no chance to stop Odell Beckham Jr. And that's what we saw. As far as his talent goes, it's unquestioned. The way he can produce on the field, there's no question. We were complaining about his first 3 weeks. He was 4 yards away from where he was last year in the All-Pro season. Odell Beckham Jr. right now is the premier talent at the wide receiver position. We can talk about his antics off the field. The one thing I know is when he gets in front of the mic after the game, he doesn't talk about Eli Manning. He doesn't talk about Ben McAdoo. He talks about winning games and trying to fix himself and be better for the team. And I can deal with that.
We're on the same page, except you're rushing past the 15-yard penalty. Odell Beckham Jr., I've been saying, he's the most talented wide receiver in football. But people who dispute that he's the best bring up the behavior. That's what is brought up. Now, do I have a problem with him being emotional? Not at all. You're right. He doesn't blame anybody at the post-game presser. I don't have a problem with the antics, with the even hitting the net, whatever. Hit him in the face. You know, you get what you know. Put it out there, you got it back. And then hugging it out with the net. To me, that's fine. It's all fun and games. Him being emotional, that's all good. He needs that emotion. That's his mojo. That's his juice to get going. That's not a problem. But in a tight game, oh, by the way, that slant that he ran for the touchdown came right after Larry Donnell pulled a move that the kid from Louisville pulled. Instead of going for the first down, went out of bounds. When a kid in college does it, I'm not going to kill him. But when a veteran tight end does it in a game you have to win, that's a problem. And Odell made that go away with that play. But everybody knows you can't take off your helmet. Everybody knows that. And he took it off anyway. And it could have cost them the game. And I can't get past that. I already know he can ball. I've been saying he's the best. He's the best. Impulse control. Norman last year. The Norman game again this year. Xavier Rhodes with the Vikings. It kept happening. And this is... Now, it could have cost them the game. If he does it, he embarrasses himself, whatever, I have no problem. But when it's 15 yards in that situation where everybody knows the rule, you can't just run past that. I got no problem with the
Okay.
I have a problem with his impulse control.
I know we're going to Stephen A. Difference between that and Antonio Brown twerking the first week, right? And then coming back and doing it again. Because Antonio Brown is not a guy we focus on as being that way. We love his smile. We put him on ESPN commercials.
What's the score at the time?
We don't talk. It doesn't matter about the score.
It does matter.
It goes to the same point you're making. Impulse control. He knows he can't do it.
No, time and place. If you know it's a tight game and field position could determine it, and one score could determine it, and you do that, that's either dumb, and I don't think he's dumb, or you can't control your impulses. That's different if you're winning in a blowout. Do whatever you want. What do I care?
Stephen A.
You're being overly dramatic. The fact of the matter is that we all know that you don't put yourself in a position where you find yourself getting penalized, particularly when Baltimore could be in a position to win the game because you put them in a position because of an unsportsmanlike contact. We understand that. But you're being overly dramatic because you're saying that one thing just shows me blah, blah, blah. First of all, I'm not so sure he's the best receiver in the game. I know he's got great hands. I know he's got great speeds. I know he's electrifying and all that stuff. But Antonio Brown with Julio Jones, I'm not ready to give that up as of yet.
Premier talent.
I was talking to him. I was talking to him. I was talking to him.
If he's not, it's because of stuff like this.
I'm just saying. Oh, listen. Well, you could say it's stuff like that, and that definitely plays a role. But I think ultimately, all of that means is that, again, when you talk about the best receivers in the game, I saw Richard Sherman get away with a flagrant pass interference. Otherwise, Julio Jones would have caught that pass. But that's a different subject for later on in the show. My point to you is this. The reason why I disagree and the reason why I think you're being overly dramatic is because I think that as a Giants fan, you're not looking at the tremendous upside of what has been transpiring over the last couple of weeks. Because of the news that Odell Beckham made, because of all the wrong reasons, it has put a spotlight on the New York Giants, their doldrums as an offense with Ben McAdoo and whatever he's bringing or not bringing to the table. And as a result, it has forced them to get the ball more to Odell Beckham Jr. He's got 2 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. I mean, he had 222 yards with 8 receptions yesterday. 3 times over the first 6 games, he's got, caught 50% of the passes thrown in his way, 72%, 80% yesterday. I'm saying to you, one of the people who was flying under the radar was the inept performances of Eli Manning. He wasn't throwing the ball effectively enough. We weren't talking about him enough. Why? Because he does the opposite of Odell Beckham Jr. He's composed. He conducts himself the right way. He's the consummate professional. He's very reliable, et cetera, et cetera. And because of that, we didn't focus on his inept play nearly as much as we should have. But when Odell Beckham Jr. started acting up, ultimately, he's a wide receiver. He's a diva. He wants the ball. That's probably going to make him happy. It'll probably inspire him to play even better and to conduct himself, for the most part, better. And as a result, it may lead to you winning what happened yesterday. That's exactly what happened
Odell Beckham's talent, unfortunately for him, or maybe fortunately because it means he's reached superstar status, is taken for granted. I expect him to do incredible things every week. That's what happens. That comes with the territory when you're the best, when LeBron James balls out. You're not like, oh, wow, look at that. LeBron James is great. Yeah, duh, he's supposed to be great. It's when he doesn't ball that it's a story. Odell Beckham Jr. is that kind of sensational athlete. When he's quiet in terms of his production, you're like, whoa, what happened? But when he makes spectacular plays, right, that comes with the territory you expect it. What you hopefully don't expect, and what could stop him from being the next Jerry Rice, it's not the work he puts in or anything like that. It's handing the other team a gift.
Right,
That's what holds you down.
Max, it's the first thing I started with. Listen, that is my problem with yesterday. You can't take your helmet off and penalize your team. But you mentioned the Xavier Rhodes. You mentioned Josh Norman early this year. Those things didn't bother me. I don't think the play on the sideline is a penalty. It's not. When the 2 referees standing next to Xavier Rhodes and Odell Beckham don't throw it, and the guy from the middle throws it, that's not a penalty to me.
Hold on, Ryan. First of all, Norman, he lost the game last year because of the situation with Norman.
I said Mitch, you mentioned Norman earlier this year.
And earlier this year, he was having a temper tantrum on the sidelines, but okay, I'm not gonna kill him over that because no penalty, anything like that. Xavier Rhodes, they missed a call on him. It should have gone against Rhodes. Odell got in their face unfairly. They hit the Giants with a penalty, and everyone knows the next one, you're out of there. And on the next play, he sought contact out of bounds. Now, you're right, they didn't call it. They could have easily, and he'd have been thrown out of the game.
And they would have been wrong.
But why put yourself in that position?
Because when you're great, things happen. That's what makes you special. Okay, if everybody was the same, then no one would be special. Odell Beckham Jr. is special.
Right.
He's got a temperamental issue from time to time that comes with it. You would take that with his talent any day of the week because you always rave. Well, then stop whining.
No,
stop
whining. I don't mind the specialness. I don't mind the emotion. I have a problem with his impulse control.
He may have impulse
Keep
control.
it under control.
If you know him,
That's not him.
If you
That's
know
not
him,
what works
if
for
you know
him.
he's these things. He values relationships and he's loyal. So when Ben McAdoo and Eli Manning get up there and they ask him questions about him, and to me, they threw him under the bus.
Agreed.
He never got on the mic and said anything about those people. All he said is, I need to work on me.
Brian, you're talking about what's commendable about it. There's a lot commendable about Odell Beckham Jr. That's not why I'm upset. I'm focusing on the 15 yards that could have costed the game.
All right. It's been fun, folks. We got to go to break.
Larry Brown. Call him Larry Brown for now. Larry Brown actually complained about Allen Iverson not playing the right way when he dropped 58. That's Max today.
All right, let's get our first
The Giants would have gone 2 and 4.
Enough of you all. We want to know what you guys think. Which reaction do you have the biggest issue with from the NFL on Sunday? The Cam postgame presser, Richard Sherman, tie raider OBJ taking his helmet off after scoring the go-ahead touchdown. We'll share those results a little later in the show. Listen to this, folks. You can win a chance to debate Stephen A. and Max right here on national television. We're going to pick 2 winners, fly you to ESPN headquarters in Bristol, Connecticut. All you have to do is go to firsttakeyourtake.com. Be sure to read and follow all the rules for your chance to win. Then it's easy. Upload a 1-minute video with your best original sports debate. Please keep it clean. Plus, no music, team logos, trademarks, or copyrighted material. And we just want you guys to be yourself on camera and try to impress these 2. Winners will be announced November 23rd by our show staff, so get busy, and we could see you in Bristol at the debate desk taking on Stephen A. and Max. Meanwhile, let's take a look at some of the entries that have been submitted. Thank you for playing.
Dak Prescott, leave him to start. Until he starts disimproving, then you can get Tony Romo. But come on, Stephen A. Smith. Come on, Max. We both know he can't stay healthy for the life of him.
You got to give it up to Dak Prescott. He was a 4th-round draft pick by Dallas. People messed up. People took Jared Goff. People picked Carson Wentz, Ezekiel Elliott, all these players. Where's Jared Goff now? Jared Goff is still, what, 2nd-string quarterback over Casey Keenum?
Are you familiar with the movie Any Given Sunday? Tony Romo is Cap, the old veteran quarterback that's injury-prone, who's past his prime. Jerry Jones is Al Pacino, the coach who's stuck with the old quarterback with the talented young Willie Beeman, that in this case is Dak Prescott.
I love it. You guys are killing it, and the outfits are clean. They're dressing better.
We got one dude that looked like Mike Tomlin. And we got another dude that clearly is a fan of Elvis Presley. You see that hairdo? You see that hairdo?
Nice
it looked like a damn toupee.
But I like Any Given Sunday reference.
Not bad. They got potential. Some of them. None of them.
Tough critic.
Willie Beeman?
None of them ready for this. You know, but we'll see.
Yes.
We'll see.